Beginning as early as the 1st century, merchants and kingdoms of South India had considerable commercial and cultural contact with the peoples of Southeast Asia. Pali historical chronicles mention the travel of Buddhist missionaries from India to Suvarnabhumi. The Nagarjuna-Konda inscription has references to the Siletas, the ancient people of Myanmar. Myanmar, one of the largest countries in mainland Southeast Asia, has a rich and intense history stretching back to times of Mon and Pew civilization, which prospered for 1,000 years. Some of the earliest anthropoid primate fossils in the world, dating to about 40 million years ago, were found in central Myanmar. The first human settlers in Myanmar appeared in the Central Plain some 11,000 years ago. Throughout history, Myanmar has experienced waves of immigration. Mon, Pew, Bamar and Shan are the four dominant ethnic groups. Mon people were one of the earliest inhabitants settled in the south of Myanmar over the Chao Phraya River basin. Some of the earliest urban centers in Myanmar were established by the Pew people in the early centuries. The Pew silver coins circulated from the 4th century. They had cultural and trade links to Indian, Sri Lankan and Chinese dynasties. During the 1st century, Lower Myanmar was the domain of the Mon ethnic people. Dwaravati was a medieval Mon political principality from the 6th century to the 11th century. The Pew, with their cities located in Upper Myanmar at points along the Irrawaddy River, were an inland civilization. Ancient cities Halin, Begthano, and Sri Kshetra, located in vast irrigated landscapes in the dry zone of the Irrawaddy River basin, reflect the Pew kingdoms that flourished for over 1,000 years. Mon and Pew peoples were probably the first migrants to Myanmar, along with Indian merchants who established trading colonies along the coast. Since early times, Myanmar has been the land of Buddhism. The oldest surviving Buddhist texts in the Pali language are written on solid gold plaques. The Nagarjuna-Konda inscription in South India mentions the land of the Siletas. The term Siletas is identical to the Mon people of ancient Myanmar. Nagarjuna-Konda is one of the earliest Buddhist learning centers in South India under the patronage of the Satavahana, followed by the Pallavas and Kadamba dynasties. The archaeological remains of Pew cities, bricks, stupas and shrines are identical to the Buddhist monasteries of Nagarjuna-Konda. Myanmar has valuable historical and ancient literary texts, stone inscriptions written in Pali, Sanskrit, Mon and Pew languages. Mon inscriptions were written in Mon script, also called Mon Burmese script, that derives from the Pallava Grantha script of southern India. The Grantha script, which evolved from Tamili, can be traced back to the 4th century, named as Pallava Grantha after the Pallava dynasty of early medieval Tamilagam. The Pew script's immediate precursor appears to be the Kadamba script of South India. The Kadamba script is the first writing system devised specifically for writing Kannada, developed during the reign of the Kadamba dynasty, identified as a descendant of the Brahmi script. Buddhist monks from South India who travelled to Myanmar must have taught the Grantha and Kadamba writing systems as well as Buddhism to the natives. Mon and Pew people created one of the earliest urbanized civilizations in Southeast Asia. Their legacy lives on in the art and culture of Myanmar. By the 9th century, a group of people from the north, the Bamar, gained prominence in Myanmar and founded the powerful kingdom of Pagan. The Bamar people, the largest ethnic group in Myanmar, settled along the Irrawaddy and Salween rivers and established the pagan kingdom in the medieval period. In the 11th century, King Anorehta founded the pagan empire that unified the regions that would later constitute Myanmar. Bagan, The ancient city of Myanmar was founded in the 2nd century and was the capital as well as the political, economic, and cultural nerve center of the medieval pagan empire. During the pagan kingdom's height between the 11th and 13th centuries, the wealthy pagan rulers commissioned thousands of temples to be built in the Bagan plains. It is estimated that over 10,000 Buddhist temples, pagodas, and monasteries once stood on this 100 square kilometer plain in central Myanmar. Among the remains of 2,000 plus temples in Bagan city, the Nathlaung Kyaung Vishnu temple, which belongs to the 11th century, has a major connection with a merchant, Sri Kulasekara Nambi, from Kodungallur. Kulasekara Nambi is mentioned as Irairan Chiriya, a member of the medieval South Indian merchant guild Nana Desigal. Nambi is known for his donations to the Vishnu temple in Bagan city. The text, Irairan Chiriya erected the front hall in Nana Desi Vinakar, is inscribed as a Sanskrit sloga written in Tamil Grantha script. In the medieval period, Emperor Rajendra Chola expanded his empire to the Bay of Bengal, including parts of southern Myanmar. For centuries, South India had a strong influence on the literary and cultural traditions of Myanmar.